Why does modern nude art often feel uncomfortable? Not simply provocative, not merely controversial, but emotionally unsettling in a way that classical nude paintings often do not. People can walk calmly past ancient Greek sculptures or Renaissance paintings filled with naked bodies, yet feel deeply uneasy standing in front of a contemporary nude portrait. The reaction is immediate, almost psychological, and the reason has very little to do with nudity itself. The difference lies in what modern nude art is trying to reveal. Classical nude art was usually built around idealization. Artists created bodies that appeared balanced, harmonious, and almost beyond ordinary human life. The nude became a symbol of perfection, mythology, divine beauty, or heroic strength. Even when sensuality existed, it was softened through distance. The viewer was invited to admire, not confront. Modern nude art changed that relationship completely. Instead of presenting perfect bodies, contemporary artists often show bodies that are vulnerable, aging, anxious, imperfect, or emotionally exposed. The body is no longer treated as an unreachable ideal. It becomes painfully human, and that shift creates discomfort. Artists like Lucian Freud painted flesh with brutal realism, creases, weight, exhaustion, and physical tension. His portraits refuse glamour. The viewer cannot escape into fantasy because the paintings insist on reality. Similarly, Egon Schiele distorted the human figure into something psychologically raw, turning the body into a map of loneliness, desire, and emotional instability. In modern art, the nude often stops being about beauty and starts becoming about exposure. Not exposure of skin, but exposure of identity. This is why contemporary nude art can feel more intimate than explicit photography. The discomfort comes from emotional closeness rather than simple visibility. The figures often appear psychologically unprotected, as if the viewer is witnessing something private, fragile, or unresolved. There is also the collapse of aesthetic distance. Classical paintings used mythology, religion, and idealization to separate the viewer from the body. Contemporary artists frequently remove those protective layers. They present ordinary people in ordinary physical reality. No goddess, no symbolic disguise, just flesh, vulnerability, and presence. And modern audiences are often less prepared for that honesty than they realize. Today's culture is saturated with edited images, beauty filters, and carefully controlled self-presentation. Bodies are constantly curated, corrected, and digitally perfected. Contemporary nude art often moves in the opposite direction. It reveals imperfection rather than hiding it. That honesty can feel almost confrontational. Modern nude art also carries political and social weight. The body today is connected to debates about identity, gender, aging, body image, sexuality, censorship, and power. As a result, viewers rarely encounter the nude as a neutral image. They bring personal fears, insecurities, cultural conditioning, and emotional history into the experience. The discomfort, then, is not only inside the artwork. It is inside the viewer. Some contemporary artists intentionally use discomfort as part of the experience. They want viewers to question why certain bodies feel acceptable while others do not. Why idealized nudity feels artistic, but realistic vulnerability feels disturbing. Why society tolerates violence in media more easily than emotional nakedness. Because perhaps what unsettles us most is not the naked body itself. It is the absence of illusion. Modern nude art strips away perfection, mythology, and performance. What remains is something far more difficult to face: the fragile reality of being human.